So 2 weeks ago in episode 152, my guest was an experienced talent branding specialist, Claudia Nolan, and they addressed stakeholder management being their top skill to develop in their employer branding and talent marketing role. And they also mentioned that they had no previous experience in stakeholder management prior to starting their talent marketing career 7 years ago and have had to learn through trial and error. Now, as an employer branding consultant myself, I also have experienced the importance of stakeholder management multiple times in situations where I've realized with my clients that they don't have the required buy-in. And most often these realizations have been at the point where I've understood that it's probably too late for me to step in and try to help them out with this. Now, as a result, I'm sure that many of those strategy projects ended up flopping at the execution when the client took over, and if they were left independently maneuver without the stakeholder buy-in. That's why this episode of Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast is so important. And I really want to raise the importance of stakeholder management thanks to Claw. And that's why I'm bringing up this compelling topic that touches all of you working in HR marketing, talent marketing, and employer branding sooner or later. I want to talk about how to navigate stakeholder management in employer branding with you. If you're new to this podcast, my name is Susanna Rantanen, and I am a business coach specializing in talent marketing and employer branding, but I also own an employer branding agency and work as an employer branding strategic consultant and content creator and strategic employer branding advisor for business management. Now, this podcast is for those who want to learn how to build employer brands that attract and retain talents the business needs for success. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Now, I understand that gaining buy-in from your management and also marketing or communications departments for employer branding plans can be literally daunting. But fret not, because today I'll share some strategies and insights to help you navigate this crucial aspect of your job. But before we dive into those strategies, I have in mind I want to identify the key stakeholders that you should expect to be involved throughout your employer branding career when making those employer branding initiatives. Now, typically there are 4 main groups. The first one is obviously HR talent acquisition, and this probably is you and your team, or those in your team who are responsible for crafting and implementing employer branding strategies, or if you are that person, then HR and talent acquisition colleagues in your team. Another important, I would say the most important stakeholder for you is the management, because your top level executives and leadership team must approve budget allocations and give you the overall strategic direction and also approve your idea, your suggestion for that overall strategic direction. Now, when you work strategically in employer branding, which is important if you want to get the management buy-in, you will not get management buy-in if you're just doing random acts of employer brand marketing. Your employer branding strategy must align with those strategic business needs that tie in with talent attraction and talent retention. Now, knowing what strategic plans and focus areas the business has for the upcoming years, that's absolutely key in successful employer branding, because we are talking about a long-term game. It's a long game. It's like a marathon. It's endless. And paving the way for future success much more than supporting today's recruitment campaigns. Now, this is an area that I just simply cannot emphasize enough, as most companies are going through changes, and those changes are likely to have many pivotal impact on what type of talent the business needs in the coming years. And many HR I've collaborated with have actually been surprised about the quite significant changes that those organizational and business strategic changes have had on the future talent profiles. So this is not an area that you should ignore, because you don't want to enter on this marathon only to find towards the end that you're on a bloody wrong route. But this is not the goal where you were supposed to go. So if you continue to build an employer brand based on those outdated assumptions and expectations and needs and requirements, you literally will be in trouble, and you won't even find that out until it's too late, and changing the course may take another couple of years. That's why planning ahead is much more business critical in employer branding than in talent acquisition. Now, becoming known as a strategic employer branding advisor to your top-level executives and leadership teams might be the best career move you'll ever make. I can guarantee you that. It was that for me. Another important stakeholder is, of course, marketing and communications departments, functions. They obviously play a pivotal role in translating your branding efforts into compelling narratives and content, and also visual content, if that's not something that you will do. Even if you create the content, or even if you have a partner like us creating the content, you will still need their buy-in, because oftentimes they own the social media channels, the company blogs, and the career site, and therefore gatekeep what content they let you publish and when. And unfortunately, many marketing and communications departments, I'm sorry to say this is going to sound cruel, but are quite clueless when it comes to employer branding. And if you don't have that really good collaborative and respectful relationship, I have witnessed these functions turning into major roadblocks for employer branding. But thankfully, we have plenty of great examples as well. And from our client portfolio, I can immediately pick up a couple of really excellent examples, such as Railers Finland. They have a really well-working employer branding collaboration between HR, talent acquisition, marketing, communications, with the VP of marketing having also made sure that the top management is involved. And I'm so certain that they will succeed in employer branding years to come. Another wonderful example of really successful marketing and employer branding collaboration is at Sweco Finland, who operates in the same market with Railers. These two organizations are just simply astonishing examples of employer branding collaboration that is fun, that is effortless, and that is successful. Since I am talking about these two wonderful organizations already, I'm going to drop in also Granlund, which is also another employer in the same industry, a third striking example. They all have managed to position strongly as unique employers and organizations in the same industry, with excellent stakeholder management, successful collaboration internally and externally with us as their partner, and simply, I think, the signs of success when you get this collaboration with these stakeholders working really well for you. But then the fourth one, and this is employees, and this is equally important as your top management and leadership teams, albeit for different reasons. Because one of the biggest mistakes in employer branding is that either you're not going to involve your people in the strategy process at all, or you're not having a strategy process at all, and you push the responsibility of just creating content and publishing it on the people, and neither of these works. So you literally need your employees buy-in also, even though they are not sitting on the budget or your social media channels. This is the reason why. So employee branding is a really difficult job if you're not getting anyone else to contribute to it. Ask anyone who's been working with employer branding how hard it can be to get content ideas or get substantive sort of context information for you to create content, for example. If you're not getting your people to collaborate with you, and if they're not advocating your employer brand, it's because they don't recognize your brand. They don't recognize your EVP. They don't recognize your messages. They don't recognize those employer brand perceptions that you're trying to build. If they are not sharing content, if they're not contributing to content idea generation, if they're not sharing their expertise with you, what will you post about? At best, your employees will give you peer information, help promote your messages, contribute to sharing those messages, contribute to creating those messages, become your talent advocates, help you grow your talent target audience, and contribute to various tasks in ways that really suits them best. So you need their buy-in as well. Now, let's next talk about some vital strategies that I have for successful stakeholder management in employer branding. And the first one is building your employer brand's business case. And I know this is going to be scary, but let me explain. When you want to have that management buy-in, they understand business cases. They need business cases to understand what's being done and what you can expect as a return and how much would that investment cost. So building a robust or any, not even a robust, but just like literally building just a business case for your employer branding initiatives is your first strategy. And this is, as said, important for you to gain your buy-in from the management, but also from the marketing departments. So what this means is that you need to demonstrate how your planned employer branding efforts directly align with the organization goals and bottom line. What would be the tasks, the initiatives that you would be taking? What do you require from others? How much do you plan this to cost? And what will be the expected outcomes? This is actually precisely what you need to also adopt if you become, or if you want to become, an employer brand or talent brand manager. In that role, in its truest sense, you need to be able to prove your case. Now, employer brand manager, talent brand manager, this is the managerial roles where these strategic skills and goal-driven working style are essential. And it's impossible to get management buy-in without a business-first approach. The only thing the management cares about is, how is this going to help us win our business battles? How is this going to help me as a CEO or me as whatever business director deliver the business success that is expected from me? How is this going to provide for us as a healthy organization? So you will need to go with this business first approach. They will also tell you, we're not going to increase our costs unless you can deliver return on that investment. Return on investment means that when they put in tenfold, they get back more instead of losing that 10 or losing even 20 or 30 or even more. So in employer branding, return on investment means measurable internal and external impact in the form of things like decreasing the overall recruitment costs over time, because we are now, we get more and more well-known. We become more and more attractive than before. We don't have to advertise that much for our vacancies. We don't have to source candidates like we did before. We don't have to use external recruitment agencies, pay for, headhunters and stuff like that. Shorter time to hire, getting those new employees in faster is also an example of a return on investment, because the faster that you get them in, the faster they become productive in their work, delivering on your customer promise, delivering on goals. If they're salespeople, which I love to use as an example because it's so concrete, but if the faster you get a new salesperson in, the faster you're getting more sales in. So that's a definite business impact. Also, shorter time to hire will be impacted with your employer brand, because when you build your employee target audience that trusts you, that is attracted to you as an employer, they actively follow you, so they're not missing out on your recruitment posts. So that also contributes to faster time of hire or short time of hire, whichever term you use. When the recruitment processes are faster, we can get those employees faster to start working, which impacts the cash flow in a positive way. When we advocate, clarify, storify our change process, the benefits of it, what future will look like for our employees, we experience less retention. We stop losing our key talents, even if we are going through a lot of organizational change at that time. These are great examples of the expected return on that employer branding investment that your management will be interested in hearing. So use stuff like this when you will build that business case. So in my experience, it's crucial to show them the numbers, like Tom Cruise said, show me the number. Start with the current recruitment job. I think he said, show me the money, but that's the same. That's the same for the management. Numbers equal money, either loss of money or more money. And that's what the management is interested in. So start with the current recruitment challenges, such as high turnover rate or difficulties in attracting your top talent. Use data to highlight how long it's taking now. Use data to highlight how a strong employer brand can mitigate these issues and save the organization money in the long run. The key struggles, the real pain points in regards to people for your top management are retention, losing people, and attraction, getting people in. So when you build a business case on employer branding that helps get rid of these key pain points of management, they will immediately become curious and interested to hearing more. And what is most important, when you provide them with the business case of showing them numbers, giving them estimates, they will provide you with the resources that actually deliver business value instead of, I'm sorry to say, but meaningless vanity value. Now, I'm going to pop a link to my free ebook on talent marketing roles on the show notes page of this episode, which you can find on www.modernemployerbrand.com/podcast 154. Alternatively, on my Instagram profile as a pinned post, my IG is at Rantanen Susanna, RANTANENSUSANNA. Now, this ebook is 18 pages long, and it will clarify you a total of 6 key roles in talent marketing, including this employer brand manager's role. Hopefully, it helps you to develop in this role to support you getting that buy-in and becoming their trusted employer branding advisor. That's what I want for you. Another strategy, collaborative workshops, regular collaborative workshops. This next strategy involves hosting collaborative workshops regularly with your marketing teams. Now, these workshops can help bridge that gap between HR and marketing, ensuring that your employer branding plans are taken seriously, understood, and also effectively communicated. At my agency, employer branding agency, Emina, collaborative workshops play an important role in our offer as well, especially when we do strategy work for our clients or content creation work for our clients. And the more you get your marketing, your communications, but also your talent acquisition, your team leaders and employees representing that key target audiences involved in these collaborative workshops, the easier it will be to collaborate and get all of theirs buy-in and that important advocacy later on. Now, people love to be involved and included and share their voices, and not just that. I find these collaborative workshops also an excellent learning experience. Everyone tends to look at things from their own perspectives and angles. But when you discuss this mutual topic, having these multiple perspectives involved, and you give each other time and you listen, that is one heck of a learning experience. Now, collaboration is key. And when you involve the marketing and the communication and employees and team leads already in this planning process, they can help you define your strategic focus areas. Make sure that you have accurate angles represented. Make sure that you're selecting or covering the media that the target audience will actually be using and seeing your communication and marketing. And they will also help you create compelling content that resonates with your target audience. Now, this collaboration doesn't only ensure alignment, but also it really sparks creativity. And the feedback that we get after every single collaborative workshop from the participants is that, oh, we never have time to talk about this like this. Oh, I love this. This was such an inspiring session. So, give yourself the opportunity to get that buy-in through collaborative workshops. A third strategy is clear communication and education. This strategy emphasizes the importance of clarity when it comes to communication, but also educating your stakeholders. It's essential to provide your management and your marketing and communications departments with the information that they need to fully comprehend the value of employer branding. I mean, don't fall into the rabbit hole of assuming that everyone already understands what employer branding is, because based on my experience, pretty much anyone not working in employer branding don't. And the management probably doesn't have any idea, even if they recognize the term. So don't be fooled by mistakenly believing that they know just because they, have said that, employer branding is now in our strategy. They don't know. They don't know. Also, don't be fooled by assuming that your marketing and communications teams know what employer branding is, because just because they are experts in some areas of marketing, advertising, communications, does not mean that they are automatically experts of employer branding. I have worked with HR and talent marketing for over 20 years, but I also have a BA honors in marketing management and PR. I'm still not the expert of, let's say, media relations or investor relations or consumer brand marketing. I'm not an expert of Google advertising. Just like employer branding, those are all examples of very special areas of expertise in marketing and communication. And excelling in one does not make you automatically an expert in another, because when you become a real, true expert in one, you've given all your time to really go deep in that area. You have not had the opportunity to become that familiar with these other areas. That makes sense, doesn't it? I have met many full-blown, superior consumer brand experts not understanding employer branding at all. And equally, I can say that I'm not an expert of consumer brand marketing, but I am one of the best employer branding experts in the world. Clear communication and educating your stakeholders are also key to getting management or stakeholder buy-in, not just management, all of your stakeholders buy-in. So take the time to educate your stakeholders, but don't approach, especially your marketing communications colleagues, kind of dissing their experience, lack of experience, or potential lack of employee branding experience or knowledge, because that will not sit well with them. Instead, approach them with wanting to share notes on what you have on employer branding and this unique target audience of job seekers and employees, and what they have on, let's say, multi-channel marketing, omni-marketing, content marketing, social media, so that you can together come up with the best plan. Respect each other's experiences and knowledge. That's the best way to collaborate and get the buy-in. Provide them with case studies and real-world examples of organizations that have benefited from strong employer branding. I mean, many of my podcast episodes have been super helpful with my audience getting the buy-in, so feel free to use them. Actually, I'll make a list of some podcast episodes that have helped others in my audience when navigating stakeholder management in employer branding. I'll share that on social media as soon as I've got the list. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, then you will get it. Okay, another strategy, measuring and reporting ROI. ROI is not a man. ROI is ROI. So that's return on investment. Last but not least, we have measuring and reporting ROI, our friend ROI. So once your employer branding initiatives are underway, it's vital to track the impact and share the results with your stakeholders, because you have to prove them that your case works, that you know what you're doing. So have tangible data on the success of your employer branding efforts. That will be a powerful tool for you. Share metrics like improved application conversion rates, decreased time to hire, decreased overall cost of hire, increased employee engagement, improved retention as examples, because the numbers do speak for themselves. Now, in conclusion, successfully navigating stakeholder management in employer branding involves building that compelling business case, fostering collaboration, clear communication, educating your stakeholders, and measuring and reporting your friend ROI. Now, remember that this process is ongoing. So as your initiatives evolve, so will your strategies, so will your own skills and experience, and so will gaining that buy-in. That's all for this week, my friends. Now, wrapping up today's episode of the Building a Modern Employer Brand. Sorry. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a review. Share this episode with your HR and employer branding colleagues, but also with your stakeholders. Just start that fruitful journey in getting their buy-in. It will help you heaps. And go to that show notes page to download that free ebook on the time marketing roles. There's plenty of food for developing your skills and your career, and also at getting and keeping that buy-in. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned for more insightful episodes on mastering the employer branding edge in the modern employer branding world. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and I'm your guide to building the magnetic employer brand. Until next week. Moi moi.